What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined today by the man, Jay Alonzo. How are we doing today, Jalen?
That's pretty much all I have to say, Pat.
Fair enough. No, literally fair enough. That's exactly how I feel inside. But, got to fake it sometimes. But, Jalen, trade deadline is about a week away at this point, and, the Yankees do have a few names on their radar, a few names that we could see possibly making sense. One guy I want to discuss today as to whether or not he could make sense for the Yankees, especially in their rotation, would be Kyle Gibson, having a career year with the Rangers. So I guess we'll kind of discuss today whether or not he would be a solid fit. But before we get into that, everyone be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. Bro, we're going live before and after every single Yankees game this season, but you already know that. So let's hop into Kyle Gibson here. I'm gonna bring up some numbers as far as Kyle Gibson's season goes. We're looking at a dude who's made 18 starts so far with the Texas Rangers. He's 6-2 if you care about win-loss record. Has a 2.86 ERA. He has 90 strikeouts and 107 innings. But kind of like I said, it is a career year, right? Before this, the last time that we saw him even have an ERA under 4 was in 2018 with the Twins. And then the only time before that was 2015 with the Twins. So we're talking about a dude who hasn't necessarily shown like a tremendous amount of success in his career. However, also at the same time, maybe he just discovered something with the Rangers, right? Maybe that he's kind of just, I don't know what it could possibly be. Something with his mechanics, but all I know is that the Yankees desperately need another starting pitcher, right? I don't know if Kyle Gibson would necessarily be like the number 2 that we're looking for, like Max Scherzer would be, but I think you acquire Kyle Gibson and maybe he could be like the number 3 in the starting rotation and just work with like Domingo and Monty and Tyone in order to like give the Yankees some quality innings down the stretch. So you don't have to like be in a situation where Asher Wojciechowski's getting a bunch of innings or Sal Romano or like, you know what I mean? So I think maybe the Gibson trade could work. Maybe it couldn't. What do you think?
Well, I think it's interesting. There's 2 points that come into my head when we think about Kyle Gibson. The first thing is I feel like, I don't know if it's the AL West or what's in the air in Texas, but whenever guys seem to go to Texas, they seem to figure something out. I know we have this whole spider tax spin rate situation with Houston and the Astros, and Brent Strom is crowned as guru because he helped Justin Verlander get back on track, Garrett Cole get back on track. It just seems like pitchers went there and their whole career just kind of got revitalized for whatever reason. I'm not going to speculate, but it seemed like that was where guys went to fix their pitching careers. And we've seen it with Lance Lynn leaving going to the Rangers and kind of finding whatever he found and becoming one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball again. And now we're kind of seeing it with Kyle Gibson. He was on the Twins and now is a Ranger, and he has, I wouldn't say he's in the running for AL Cy Young necessarily, but
he's putting up Cy Young caliber numbers, though.
He's a league leader in ERA. He only has 2 losses on the year. So that's just one point that comes to my head. The other point is this is a guy, the Yankees seem to have, like, if they have interest in a guy in 2019 or 2018, 2017, they seem to keep that interest. So in 2019, we tried to, I don't know how far the talks or discussions went, but I know we had interest in Kyle Gibson. Obviously, we didn't get him. 2018, he was having a pretty good year. We also looked at him then. Obviously, didn't get him. But listen, I would welcome it. I don't think he would cost a ton as far as prospects in a package. I know he's having a good year. I know he has a low ERA, but he is, like you said, having kind of a career year, and who knows if he's going to hold that up. He has struggled in his past couple starts. I know you have some numbers on that. So what was it like?
Bro, if we look at his last 2 starts, which I mean is kind of meaning that he's trending in the wrong direction as the season's going on, especially after the All-Star break here. But in his last 2 starts, the first one was July 19th against the Tigers in Detroit. He only went 5 innings, gave up 8 earned runs. And then the start before that was, I believe, the last start before the All-Star break against the Tigers as well. He only went 6 1/3, gave up 5 runs to the Detroit Tigers. So I don't know if this is just a theory of like the Tigers having this dude's number, or like him kind of just falling off as the season is going on. But I think like now that we kind of hyped him up for maybe like the first half of the show here, we could kind of take the second half to make the reasoning as to why the Yankees shouldn't go out and acquire him. Because the way I'm looking at Kyle Gibson right now, I think it's very similar to when the Yankees went out and acquired J Happ in 2018. I see it very similar in that sense, where you're looking at a guy who's having a career year. he's not necessarily like that ace that they're looking for, even though he could be putting up like ace numbers at times.
Right.
I just think that for some reason, going back to what you said too about how Texas is seemingly like a pitching factory, the way that they kind of just revive guys' careers there, I think that this would be a move that would backfire on the Yankees, especially if they gave up any sort of significant pieces, which I don't think they would. However, I'm going to throw this out there. The only way I would make a deal for Kyle Gibson
I know
is
where you're
if
going
he
with
was
this. I know where
included
you're going with
in
this.
a trade for Joey Gallo. Now,
I
I'm
agree.
saying if you can just make a deal with the Rangers and you could get Gallo and Gibson, so it's just like Gibson's a throw-in, and it's not like you're giving up a major package for him, I'd do the trade 10 times out of 10 because it's not like you're giving up a huge haul for him. You're giving up a huge haul for Joey Gallo and then hoping Kyle Gibson pays off. Worst case scenario, the dude sucks, and then you kind of just throw him in the bullpen for the postseason, barring that you get there. I don't even know if they will. But like can you catch my drift at this point?
Yeah. No, I think that's probably the only way. I'm not 100% sure that that's the only way they would acquire him. That would be the only way that a Kyle Gibson trade would excite me. If
Or
he
makes
was,
sense.
or yeah, right. And I think the Yankees, with the amount of holes that they have, right? We've talked about how they have pretty much question marks at every position right now. Obviously, besides Garrett Cole at the top, and we even talked about that. He had a pretty good start to the second half so far, but we're not sure which direction he's going to go for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
We're hopeful that he can maintain and build on his last two starts that have been a lot better than those previous. It was like 6 in a row that were just really not good. But other than that, with the guys on the COVID list right now, we have so many question marks. And I think what this team needs, obviously, we're going to get Judge back at some point. We're going to get Gio back. We're going to get Johnny back soon. Nestor, like all these guys that are important to our ball club are going to come back. But we still have question marks. And I think the one thing that could really change, I don't know if it's going to change the culture, but it's going to change the whole feel of this team, is a similar trade, a trade similar to what we made in 2017.
Yes.
Where we acquired. Not only did we get our third baseman, and Todd Frazier, who was not only a third baseman, but somebody who was a clubhouse guy, brought high spirits, a lot of energy, really loved being a Yankee. That's really important. And I think he was a huge part of that 2017 run, even if he didn't produce at a super high clip. He brought a lot to the clubhouse. Same with Tommy Kahnle, another great bullpen piece that we added. And of course, David Robertson came back to being a Yankee, which seemed he's like him and Adam Warren were just like never wanted to leave the Yankees organization. But
Adam Warren's still here, by the way.
I know it doesn't make any sense, but I think a trade like that could really, really, really spin the Yankees into the direction that they need to go in. Just get, like we talk about every single time we come on here, getting fresh faces into that clubhouse. And it's working right now. I know we lost tonight, but just the AAA guys being in there just gives a different feel to this ball club and a feel that we haven't had in a long time. And I think a trade like that where you get a Joey Gallo, you plug in left field, who can also play right field if you need to give Judge a day or DH him. He can also play the corner infield. So if you need him to play third, if you need him to play first, right? He's a versatile guy. He's a great defender. He has a cannon for an arm. He's quick out there. And he has been improving at the plate as far as not striking out so much and not just going for the home run. So I love Joey Gallo, and if you add in a guy who has a sub-3 ERA on the year, whether you think it's because of the dead baseballs or whatever your theory is, he's having a good year. And I would be happy to slot him into our rotation, especially adding in a Joey Gallo to that deal.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I mean, I think it's kind of sad that like we look at the starting pitching market right now and we see how desperately the Yankees need to improve their starting rotation. And I hope they don't go around saying like, we're getting Sevy back, we're getting Kluber back, and those are the acquisitions, because we could definitely see that happening. But I think it's just a little bit disappointing that now we have to talk about Kyle Gibson as being like a potential acquisition to the rotation, because there's not many key starters out there that the Yankees could trade for. We're looking at Max Scherzer, but that's probably not going to happen because it would put the Yankees over the luxury tax. I'm looking at Jose Barrios. He might be another option, but outside of those three guys, probably Gibson, Scherzer, Barrios, I'm not too sure what other starting pitchers are even out on the market. So also, usually when we do these videos about like potential trade candidates, I kind of like find myself liking the guy a little bit more. But in this case with Kyle Gibson, I find myself looking at Gibson. I'm like, to be honest, I don't want anything to do with this dude unless it's like a throw-in for a deal with Joey Gallo. So I think that's kind of like how I feel about it. I'm not too intrigued about Kyle Gibson whatsoever.
And to be honest, I know the numbers don't show it right now, but if we're being super honest, I know this might not this might not resonate well with Yankees fans who don't have or maybe looking at things in a broader scope. Right now, on July 23rd, I'm taking Jameson Tyone over Kyle Gibson. Just
I
right
would
now.
too. I would too.
Just based off their recent performances. I may be recency bias. I know Tyone's ERA is way higher. He's still in the fours, but I think he's 4-0 over his last 6 starts with like a 2.25 ERA.
Yeah.
He's been solid.
I'd probably agree with you. I don't think it's that hot of a take.
Kyle Gibson is trending in the opposite direction. So right now, if I had a do or die game, Garrett Cole wasn't ready to go because he pitched the day before, and I had either Kyle Gibson or Jameson Tyone, I'm going with Tyone. Just right now. I'm not saying it's going to be the same in October, but just for now.
Listen, I think with that being said, that kind of answers our question here. Whether or not Kyle Gibson would be a solid trade acquisition for the Yankees, I think we're both going to sit here and say no. Yeah. Now, obviously, I still think that the Yankees should go out and get somebody. Also, if you could get Kyle Gibson for absolutely nothing, sure, I'll take it. But right now, if you have to give up anything significant for the dude, I'm going to say no. But that is going to wrap things up for today's episode. Appreciate you all for stopping by. You guys know the deal. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification for more. We're only a week away from the trade deadline, so we're going to keep you guys up to date every single day. In our live streams, we're going live before and after every single Yankees game this season, and these occasional videos as well. So you guys know the deal. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you all next time. Peace.